All right. Up next is the worst films, our worst films of 2012.
Yep.
You want to kick it off?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, did I mention that the third installment is only the worst if a crappier fourth installment does not premiere?
Yes, you mentioned in the last in the yeah about.
Well,
Spike.
guess what we got for 2012, guys? Paranormal Activity 4.
It's 3 in the morning. Robbie, can you tell me who you were talking to? Nobody. Look at that. What is that?
Looks like a triangle with a circle in it.
Right there. That's it. I mean, what does it mean?
He does not like you.
What? Who doesn't like me?
You'll find out.
Wyatt, you need to tell me what's going on.
I don't want you to get hurt.
Wyatt! I'm not crazy! I almost died! Please! Mom! Dad, help me! Dad! Oh my god!
Oh, man.
Yeah. So I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts about this. You've
So-
seen only a couple Paranormal Activities. I've seen all 6.
No, I've seen one.
You've seen one. Never mind. And that is
Yep.
this one. So
Yep.
here you go.
So, this story is about a woman and her son who move into a family's home and they start experiencing some strange, mysterious, and spiritual events happening in this house. And in case you hasn't guessed, I pretty much just described the plot of Paranormals 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, you did. Pretty much all 6 movies had the exact same plot. They just kind of tweak it a little bit. There's a couple of notable differences in the later installments,
Yeah.
but first 3, in my opinion, were good. 4, this is where things went downhill.
Yep.
Really did.
Now, unlike Spy Kids sequels, which had different plot points, different motivations, and overall different themes with each installment.
Yep.
This film, I feel like I haven't seen all the other Paranormal Activities, but I'm 90% sure they're all the same.
Yeah, I can confirm
And-
that they pretty much are.
And I can list a few examples of some of these franchises, like Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Saw,
Yep.
Texas Chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing any?
I don't think so. I mean, I think you got the point across.
Yeah.
There's a good number.
Yep. Like, not even 10 minutes in, and my mother said, "Jake, this movie's going nowhere fast."
that should be a fairly good pointer that the movie isn't necessarily going to get any better.
No.
If your mom says, "Yeah, this is going nowhere
And-
fast,"
Like, honestly, no matter how this movie would have ended, I would have walked out with the same reaction.
because you just weren't invested and you just didn't really care.
No, nothing was interesting at all.
Yeah, this movie is really bland. Like I said, the first 3 had an interesting story, and again, very similar stories, but they did enough different where it was like, oh, it still felt fresh. 4, it was like it was a poor excuse to try and tie it into the first 3 movies. It didn't work. The ending was stupid. The movie, for the most part, is just like pointless. And while the acting is fine, it's not a scary movie either,
No.
like at all.
Nope.
The first 3 had moments that were genuinely creepy, and this is where things just kind of went like, why are we still doing this franchise?
Definitely.
Yeah, so, as someone who's seen all 6, I can say there's a good portion, and then
Yep.
there's a bad portion, and it's funny that it's right down the middle at the 4th installment where things just was like,
Yeah.
you should have stopped.
Now, I know you said the marked ones you said was the worst one in the franchise. I
Yes.
could only imagine how bad the next 2 are.
Yeah, the next 2 are definitely worse than 4. Like, they get worse in comparison. 4 is not good, but then you get 5 and it's like, oh god, and then you get 6 and it's like, what was the point?
Yep.
What was the point? Like, why even make a 6th one? Like, the 6th one is so bland and uninteresting that you can't even really talk about how bad it is, because it's just like,
No.
because it just like is a waste of breath talking about the ghost dimension. So,
I agree.
I hear what you're saying. If you wanted to watch them strictly like a little bit intoxicated and just have a good time, That's about the only way that you can watch the Paranormal Activity
Yep.
movies, especially the 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Or if you just love horror movies just because.
Yeah, I watched 1 through 6 about, I think, within a week. I think I watched them all, like, the 6 days of a week, just in order.
Alrighty.
And it was a lot.
Yep. Alrighty. Now we've
Right.
covered my pick.
Yep.
Your pick for the worst of 2012 is.
Mhm. That's my boy.
Don't forget, you're gonna go to prison on Tuesday. You have got to get that money.
Actually just trying to be a dad right now. You wear a bathing suit in the shower?
I can't even take my shirt off in front of other people.
What did I do this?
Let me jog your memory.
The new kids on the block. Their heads are all warped now.
Yeah, it's because I got it when I was in 3rd grade. My body grew.
You suck.
That's my boy!
Ever since you showed up, Todd's been acting like a different person.
John, you all set, buddy?
Please don't hit us. Please don't hit us.
Here you go, big man. You all right, guy?
Wow. So at least your film had a advantage of being part of a franchise. At least this film was a one-off and was by a fairly new up-and-coming director, Sean Anders, who has gone to make on much better films. The Daddy's Home films, as well as Instant Family. Super underrated. Anyways, That's My Boy is pretty much the sad excuse to get Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg in a movie and then just have these offensive jokes for the entire runtime of the movie. It's not funny. It's not charming. The acting is terrible. The characters are forgettable, and it's the bare minimum, like bottom of the barrel of comedy, and it just is laughably bad. I mean, this is almost Jack and Jill level bad.
Yeah.
And Adam Sandler, I've seen him in good things. I've seen Andy Samberg in good things.
Like 50 First Dates. That was probably my favorite of his, besides Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, I haven't seen Happy Gilmore. My favorite Adam Sandler movie is Spanglish. Super underrated. If you haven't seen it, it's great.
Cool.
He's really subdued in that. But 50 First Dates would probably be a close second.
Now, call me crazy, but I actually liked Pixels.
Yeah, you know what? Pixels compared to That's My Boy, at least there was that guilty pleasure-esqueness with the effects and the gaming themes and everything. I enjoyed Pixels too. It's not a good movie.
No.
But I enjoyed it. That's My Boy is just pretty much like terrible. I can't find like any redeeming qualities to it. And these filmmakers and these actors went on to make better things. I don't understand why this film was even made.
I know.
You've seen it multiple times before. You've seen it done better. And it's not even funny. I would put this on the same level as Dirty Grandpa. It's just like, why was this movie made?
Yeah.
To a paycheck for these actors and a paycheck for these filmmakers, I guess? I mean, did they really have that much passion in That's My Boy? Even the title just sounds incredibly lazy. It's like, that's cliche, that's generic. Let's go with that!
Yeah.
Oh, God. You know, I don't want to give this movie any more airtime. It's just terrible. Do not watch it unless you, again, want to get bit intoxicated and you want to laugh at the absolute stupidity that's happening on screen. So, Paranormal Activity 4 for you.
Yep.
And That's My Boy for me. I don't recommend either of these films. And having said that, I think we're going to move on to our worst films of 2013.
13, yep.
All right.